Hey yogis, Latoya here with more education and inspiration for you. As you can see, I'm all sweaty. I was just doing a run out in nature trail by my house. Spirit has led me to come to you all today and talk to you all about this concept of redefining nature and redefining what it means to be in nature so that y'all can get outside more. But I'm from the city. I was born and raised on the south side of Chicago. I did not come to Georgia, to Atlanta, until I was 30 years old. I've been here for 7 years now, and I spend most of my time outdoors. But with me having those city origins, I never have felt comfortable living too far away from the city. So we're talking about 20-30 minutes from the city is about as comfortable as I feel being away from the city. So basically I can leave out my house and within 5 minutes I'm able to find a gas station or a grocery store or a shopping mall, anything like that. So I'm not out in nature like that. You know, I'm not a person who's so rustic that like goes camping on a regular basis, but I feel very much so connected with nature. And I feel like connecting with nature is extremely important. I feel like it connects us with our spiritual selves, and it is something that is a representation of like divine order and divine creation and just perfection. Being in nature is therapeutic. But a lot of people feel like, you know, well, I can't do that. I live in Chicago, I live in Detroit, I live in Brooklyn, I live in these different places where access to nature is not readily available. And to that I say, let's redefine our concept of nature and what nature is. Nature is any area where you have access to trees. It may be a tree, where you have access to a flower or flowers, where you have access to bodies of water. So when I was living in Chicago, Chicago has the lake and it has like the sand. It's a beach area. So I would spend a lot of time on the beach in Chicago during times where there was not a lot of people present. So like early in the morning or later in the evening, that was my way of connecting with nature there. But also beyond that, there are green, grassy places all over the city. And I'm sure this is not dissimilar to most other cities where they have gardens set up in courtways, where they have museums and they have beautiful landscaping around museums, or you know, just community gardens. Most cities have community gardens now. All of those spaces are nature. That's you being connected with nature and out in nature. So finding a place, being in that space is your connecting with nature. You don't have to be on an elaborate, you know, nature trail like I'm on right now. You can be at lunch downtown Chicago, leave out of your office and go to Millennium Park and sit there and have your lunch outside. That's anywhere in any major city. Especially in the summertime, most places have somewhere for you to go where you can access nature, elements of nature. Almost every major city has a botanical garden. They have a place where you can go. Some have free days where you can go for free sometimes. Other times you may have to go and spend a couple of bucks. But choose a day. Choose one day where you go and spend half the day at the botanical garden and just walk around and breathe in the fresh air from the plants and sit and write and meditate and read, spend time with people that you love. That is also being in nature. So let's get that out of our head, that it has to be some mountain, or that it has to be some hiking trail, or that it has to be the ocean or anything like that. It does not have to be that elaborate to be nature. But there are so many different ways to reap the benefits of nature that I see a lot of people don't take advantage of. For me, anytime I go out to eat, if it's not too hot or not too cold and they have outdoor seating, I'm sitting outside. Like guaranteed, no matter what, I'm going to sit outside. I go to Chipotle 9 times out of 10. I sit outside. I'm anemic anyway, and Chipotle is always cold. So I sit outside, and even when it's a little bit warm, it's like I'm only going to be out here for 10 minutes or so. I can deal with this heat for 10 minutes or so. So I sit outside when I eat. That's like a small adjustment that I make in order to connect with nature. Also, when you're driving, even when I didn't have a convertible, I would drive with the windows down, turn off the air conditioning, and just let the air blow into your car and experience that and feel it blowing through your hair, blowing on your face. Do some breathing exercises while you're driving with the window down. That's also connecting with nature. That's another way to connect with nature. So we're redefining what a nature space is. Nature can be anywhere. You live in a major city, drive outside of the city. They have different attractions everywhere in these smaller towns where you can maybe go horseback riding for a day. That's not something I'm necessarily interested in, but you may be interested in that. Go horseback riding. Plan a date with your friends. Instead of going out and turning it up and getting drunk and going to a bar crawl, plan a horseback riding date. Plan a day for you all to go canoeing. Plan a day for you to do something as a group in nature in order to access this. All of this is available to us. God has given us all of this, and it's available to us, and he wants us to connect with nature. We just have to find ways to do it. Now, this brings me to my next point. Why? A lot of people don't understand. It's like, why do you care? Why do you want to be out in nature? Why is this important? Okay, think of it this way. Have you ever been in a house where the lights got cut off, where there was like a blackout? Think about your experience in that house where there was no electricity. There was no electricity. And if you really think about it, and if you're really honest with yourself, you'll be able to admit that that feeling is different than being in a house where you just turn off all of the lights and you turn off everything in the house. It still feels different. There is a different energy that is present in a house that does not have the disruption of electrical impulses. The house feels different. The neighborhood feels different. The environment feels different. This is what happens when we're in nature. We're in nature even when we're close to the city. All the trees and the flowers and the water disrupt those signals. It allows us to be more closely connected with our primal selves, our primal nature, with our spirit, our spiritual selves, with God, with the universe. There's no gamma rays floating around here. Not like it is in your home. Not like it is when you're in a place that's surrounded by concrete and wires. There's constantly some type of frequency that is not natural that is pulsating around us, and being in nature disrupts that. It gives us a break from that, and that's one of the reasons why it's super important to make sure you spend time in nature. As y'all can see, I am very, very passionate about this nature thing, but I need to get back to my run, finish up my workout for the day. I'm done preaching for the day, but seriously guys, get out in nature, experience some fresh air, experience the trees, experience the flowers, experience the animals in nature, and see how it makes you feel. And get back to me. Let me know what the experience was like. Peace, yogis.